Yeah. So I was telling that, yeah, instead of becoming envious at those who have more qualities, we should become happy. Instead of becoming exploitative at seeing those who have less qualities, we should be compassionate. And instead of bragging about ourselves in our equal qualities, we should be friendly with them. Right? So that's what is Kapila is saying here in other words. Right? Dana, Mana, and Maitri. So we have to deal with living entities accordingly. So the foundational thread of a Vaishnava consciousness is respect. It doesn't go below that. Whosoever is the living entity. And that's why you see in the third verse of Shikshashtakam, the most difficult thing is Manadena. Most difficult among the four. So that's what Kapil Dev is teaching with great, why he is saying these things about deity worship is because he is saying in an angry mode to a devotee who is not respecting. Right? So that is what is Kapila. So here you can see, okay, I will show the full screen. So Kapil Dev is becoming angry at a devotee who is not respecting all living entities. So in anger, he is speaking these four verses, which appear very strong, right? You will never please me, his mind will never be satisfied, he is doing imitation worship, or he is putting ghee into ashes. Actually, bhakti, even if you do any kind of bhakti, it gives benefit, right? That is the true siddhant. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatova. But Kapil Dev here is saying it's all useless. So this is not a siddhanta, this is spoken in anger. Okay? So that is what is to be understood here. But why he is speaking? Because the greatest obstacle in bhakti is offense. So yeah, please read this portion. However, anyway. Yes, Suryakant Krishna.
Only.
However, okay.
Uh, uh, you can read title and then from however you can.
Okay. However, in such bhakti, offense creates restriction. Offense generally stems from disrespect to the great devotees. Though such devotees are difficult to see, many exist. In order to avoid offenses to them, one should pay respects to all living entities, thinking that the Lord is present in all of them.
Ahead also you read. Without doing so, even worshipping deity forms of the Lord will not give any result. Read ahead, this one.
Without doing so, even worshipping the deity forms of the Lord will not give any result. Since he is the Supreme Lord, Kapila then speaks in 6 verses, somewhat angrily, out of affection, to benefit his devotee who does not respect all living beings.
Yeah. So that is the purpose of these verses. So try to understand the gravity of this. So what is the main thing? The main thing is to disrespect a great soul is greatest obstacle. But there are many great souls exist, but we don't know who is who. That is what Kapila is saying. Safety is you respect everyone. Because there are many such great souls, but difficult to see, but many exist. So we don't know. So better you offer respect to everyone, so there is no problem. You will never come across any obstacle. So that's why he is speaking in angry mode. Okay, you respect everyone. Then no obstacle on. So that is what is 4 stages of this. So disrespect is avagya. So what is this? Avagya, disregard, hatred, and criticism, right? So what these words appear only same only, right? But there is a difference in this because there is a progression in our thoughts and actions, in gestures towards others, right? So this I had told last time. The first level of that cancer of envy is avagya. Avagya means what? Envy begins with a very innocent beginning. We don't even say anything or do anything. We just think, that's all. We just look down. Avagya means, ava means that look down on others. So what do you mean by that? I am so many ways better than this person. And he is poor, he is so many ways inferior to me. So that is the just thought. How can he be a devotee? He has no skill, quality, memory, no position, nothing. See, who am I? How much knowledge I have? How many years I have practiced? How many accomplishments are there on my name? What quality of consciousness I have? So this fellow is pure guy. So such kind of thought crossing our mind is first level of negativity beginning. The cancer is beginning here. The second level is such person you disregard or we say upeksha. उपेक्षा करना है ना. उपेक्षा मीन्स देख के अनदेखा करना. You don't give attention. So you see even great souls like Guru Maharajas come. How means it appears that how they are reciprocating with practically everyone. They are not talking. They are just glancing, glancing and reciprocating with folded hands and etc. Right? So they have no tinge of all these things. No upeksha. They don't want to avoid. This is second level that person comes in front of you, then you don't even see him. You see through him. Right? So that is what is the second level. So this is quite internal. Now third level is, so this grows as cancer grows, this also grows. If you don't treat it at that moment, then it grows. Then you want to harm them. You become insensitive to them. These are all poor people, they don't know anything. See how glorious I am. So we want to hurt them. That is dvesha. And with dvesh, one can never be peaceful. And the highest level is criticism. You speak faults of them while feeling there is nothing wrong, like Daksha Prajapati in the Daksha Sabha. I was giving that example last time. Right? So he's saying, my dear Prabhus, actually, I am speaking something which is of a cultural man will speak. I am not envious, but I am trying to tell you what is the culture of Vaishnava etiquette. Etiquette, this fellow who is sitting here, he is my son-in-law, but he doesn't know how to respect. So imagine in public he is doing criticism of a great Vaishnava and saying that I am not envious, but he is at the fourth level of cancer of envy, but he doesn't understand. This is the danger of this disease. Cancer you can understand, but this disease one will not understand. He goes on criticizing, and if he gets such association, then they also criticize. Yes, what you are saying is true. I also add in that. So it's a very dangerous, vicious cycle of spreading the cancer, especially in Vaishnava community. So we have to be extremely careful because this is the only obstacle according to Kapil Dev. So we have to be very cautious in our speech in the beginning, but eventually in thoughts also, in vision also. Right? So that is what is this 4 levels. Yes, bro. You had raised hand in between. Bro. You want to say something?
So,
Will
Boli, I
you?
have a question. So, when we are discussing about the dealings, so is it applicable when we deal with non-Vaishnavas also? Because we might see when dealing with them, they're apparently wrong or illogical, or they are using words which hurt us in that way. So, how do we handle this?
And sometimes envious also. Non-Vaishnavas
Yeah.
acting enviously.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. They will act, right? Yeah, that they will. So see, here we are discussing, right, for every living entity, not just devotee, specifically devotee. See, why he is speaking that you respect everyone, so that you don't offend great souls. So The purpose of respecting all is to avoid disrespect to great devotees. But great devotees exist many, we don't know. That's what he's saying. So we have to respect all living entities. So this is applicable to all. It is not just devotees. Now coming to your practical thing when you are dealing in outside world, the basic stratum is respect. Bro. So we may not agree with them, we may not be pleased with them. What, like he said, that they are envious of the devotees. So we may not be pleased with them or we do not agree with them. Neither we associate with them. But that doesn't mean we don't respect them for what they are. Because respect means Lord is there in their heart and Lord is trying to fulfill their desires. So I deserve to offer respect to him.
Okay.
So that is the point here. They might be envious, like you see now, section of Prahlad Maharaj is going. Prahlad Maharaj respected his father. Can you imagine what all things father did to him?
Mm.
But Prahlad Maharaj respected because Prahlad knows that Paramatma is there in his heart. Whatever he is doing, Krishna will, he is disrespecting me by some reason, but I should respect him. So this is the way a devotee tries to act. This is easier said than done, especially when the outside people criticize, insult, and make fun. It's a test of all of us, actually. So to the degree we pass the test, to that degree their hearts can transform gradually.
Okay.
That forgiveness is the height of respect. That's why I said actually respect is the most difficult thing to do in Trinadapi Sunicena. A genuine respect. Respect based on connection to the Supreme Lord. Not just respect in terms of etiquette. Etiquette respect is you offer Panchang Pranam like this. This is one level of respect. Sometimes outside people are very gentle also they in dealing. But they are not having this understanding of Supreme Lord. So that respect we are talking about, which a devotee is aware about. So even if they are envious of us, we are not tit for tat. So we try to respect them, thinking them to be
Okay.
they are ignorant. They may be innocent, they may be ignorant, they may be envious, we don't know. But we act out of respect. We give prasadam when they are in good mood. Those are the things by which we can respect them. We don't have to associate with them, right? So that is what Kapil Dev is saying. So Srila Prabhupada also in the purports he will write all these things. So I hope this gives some input.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Bhavin. Thank you.
Anything else about this? It's a very important principle. So that's why this envy and respect. So respect is antidote to envy. So envy can be given up by offering respect. So that is what, especially in devotee community, we have to be even more careful. We know that these are devotees. Whatever, they can be at different levels, they may do different mistakes or insults. So we have to be careful. As because there are Kanishta Adhikaris, Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari, etc. So that's why he is saying this. So, and if you see, it's in principle. So these are the 4 stages. So unless we forgive, no, forgive is the biggest thing. So there is one. So when we can do that, the 25th verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that those who are practicing pure bhakti, pure unalloyed devotional service, then by nature have pure heart and they generally do not disrespect. However, the Mishra Bhaktas can disrespect other living. So till the time impurities are there, disrespect will be there. When the Antakaran is pure, disrespect is not possible. It's like by default. The purity The extent of purity means extent of respect. The depth of respect increases. You can't disrespect. That's why I think Param Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj says very beautifully that we say now purity is the force, right? So what is that force? What is that force which we say? Which force it is? Is some pushing force or which? Purity is the force. What is the four statements of Srila Prabhupada? Utility is the principle, preaching is the essence, and what else? There's one more, right?
Our basis.
Books are the basis, yeah. So what is this purity is the force? Mean? Or what? Which force it is?
For preaching.
Huh?
For preaching.
Yeah, but what do you mean by force?
Your
Hare Krishna,
consciousness.
Yes, Mataji?
Pure consciousness.
Pure consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Intention
Prabhuji,
must be
it is
pure.
purity of conduct.
yeah, but what
Intention
does
must be
that
pure.
mean? I am saying. When you say pure, how it translates into the interactions or vision?
Purity will attract the people.
Correct, but that is the effect of purity. I am saying what is the force which is there in the person who is possessing that?
Which has a strong Krishna in their heart without envy. That is a good thing.
Yeah, he is able to see Krishna.
Able to see.
Yeah, so how does Krishna manifest in the other person's heart?
So, Prabhuji, can we say that he has free from anarthas?
And and completely
Correct, bro.
fixed.
That is very correct. But how does it translate into outside vision and interaction? That's what purity is the force, right? So if you see Prabhupada,
Purity will help to see everything in relation with Krishna.
correct, but what does that mean? That's what I'm asking.
Prabhuji, is it a completely non-envious nature?
Yeah, that is correct. That's what is said here. No? When Antakan is poor, disrespect is not possible. Means there is no envy in the heart. So actually, Madhyamadikari means there is no envy. That is what Srila Prabhupada defines. So, what does that mean? Have you heard this fanning the spark thing? What does that mean?
Seeing super soul in others' heart.
No, not super soul. Fanning the spark into the light. What does that mean?
Encouraging the qualities in others.
Encouraging the
Good qualities.
So he is able to see something little good which is there in the person. That is called spark, fanning the spark. Because he is non-envious, he is able to see it. So this will become clear in one chart which of Bhagavatam. Yeah, so you have seen this, our Sati is going to defend her husband, Lord Shiva. In assembly, she burns herself. And she criticizes his father in public, insults her father like anything. So there she speaks one verse, 4.4.12. So this slide you can see, I hope you are able to see the slide. So you see this, the depth of sadhutva and depth of asadhutva. So see, who is a sadhu? Who is a sadhu tara? Who is a sadhu tama? And who is ati sadhuttama? So who is a sadhu who accepts the fault in others, since faults can be eventually transformed by certain good qualities, by certain method, that is bhakti. So Diti, when came to kill Indra, Kashyapa could see that. So that is sadhu. What is sadhu tar? He is overlooking the fault and not speaking about the bad qualities. He doesn't speak about it and he doesn't look at it. Rather, what he does, he sees good qualities and praise the good qualities. Like there are examples given for all these things, but we don't have time to go. This one example is someone comes and stay, he robs your house and goes away in the night. So this person will say, actually, he would have killed me also, but he is so merciful, he didn't kill me. Something like that. So that kind of example is given. So sadhuttama is person, he doesn't even see small faults. Rather, he takes a small good quality and magnifies it. And Ati Sadhuttam is the Shiva. Lord Shiva, she is saying, my dear husband is the Ati Sadhuttam. He is compassionate to the ghosts and spirits. They don't have any good quality. So they are able to see something good and try to help them. So this is height of Lord Shiva, who is able to deal with the ghosts and spirits and uplift and elevate them. That's why we say Yashnanam Yadashambhu. But my dear father, you are what? You are Asadhuttama. So who is Asadhu? He thinks that good qualities will turn into faults. So this is Asadhu. So devotee, he sees some other devotee is there, he has so many good qualities. The greatest quality is just taken up to bhakti. He sees some fault is there. Then what he will say? That actually he will fall down afterwards. Good qualities will turn into faults. And then Asadhu Tara is, he sees only faults. Overlook good qualities. Asadhuttam is, they take small faults and magnify. And they cannot see good qualities at all. And Ati Sadhuttam is, there are no faults, but they see faults. Like the Daksha saw faults in Lord Shiva. There was no fault. He was absorbed in Krishna. So the ability to see good in others is respect, in a sense. That's why there is need to be practice this. So envy can be curbed by this practice of respecting. Right? So that is the progressive vision of sadhu. So this is how we have to progress. And we see, if you just think about the great souls like Prabhupada or spiritual masters, how they deal with different people who come to them with some mistakes, some blunders, or some new people, insults. So because they are able to respect, because they have this vision of, magnifying something good, right? So there are so many pastimes of Prabhupada where he exhibits this. So that's why we have to understand what is respect. So there is this thing. So will not. What is respect? So respect, there is, in essence, what is respect? Right? So that is what we try to see now. So this is the solution part which is there in the verse also, right? I said Mana, Dana, Maitri. So what is man? What is respect? The dictionary meaning is a feeling of deep admiration for someone elicited by their qualities or achievements. So see, every person has some good quality or some achievement, whatever field it may be. This is dictionary definition. I am not talking Vaishnava respect. Vaishnava respect is higher. Vaishnava respect is further. Respect means to appreciate inherent goodness and superiority of other person. Right? So this is Vaishnava respect. This is Swarup Das Goswami Maharaja's book, no? Vaishnava behavior. So there he expresses 26 qualities. So there he defines this respect there. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the same thing, that Krishna adhisthana sarva jive jani sada karobi sanmana sabe adare sarvada. So this is the subject matter of discussion currently. Kapil Dev is saying, I am there in everyone's heart. So we have to see that. And Krishna is there. Okay, when Krishna is there, in whose heart Krishna is there? So he is saying, sarva jive, in all living entities. Sada means always. And sarvada means in all situations. When they insult you, then disrespect you, they whatever do criticize you. But Krishna is knowing that. So he sees that. In all situations, Krishna is there, Krishna is sanctioning. That's why someone is disrespecting. Hmm. So that's why he offers all respects in all situations. Hmm. So that is what is. So other words, we can make a definition. So what is respect is disposition of our heart towards others. But as it behooves, how much Krishna is realized by them, that much respect has to be offered. Right? Deho natha yathayat. So knowing their position and Lord's position in their heart. So this is one level. And advanced level is how much they have realized Krishna. Lord's disposition in their heart. Tomara hridaye sada Govinda Vishrama. So these people deserve a respect as good as the Supreme Lord. Sakshad Haritve. Right? So that's how the respect is graded. That's what is the subject matter of the rest of the chapter. Right? So we have to remind ourselves, we have to remember the presence and respond accordingly. So that's what shows our faith. Otherwise, if we do tit for tat, if we just respond in way which they responded, then Mahaprabhu won't be happy. Right? So we have to, whatever tides of this world comes in us, no? This ocean of material existence, there are so many. No, what is tide? Tide is, there is trampling on you. There are insults or there can be disrespects. But we offer respect to them. So that's how we have to try. So what is the respect? So this is the acronym which we can try to remember. Right? So what R stands for is recognize or remember. Or if we have not seen anything good, so we do some research. You try to see what good thing is being done by this person. What do you recognize or remember? The experience of superiority of some other person. Superior position, superior power, superior practice, superior potency of other person. So this is one part of respect. That you recognize and remember something better. That is called inherent good, which is there in every person. What to speak of every devotee. And their respect doesn't, that remembrance is not just respect. It has to be expressed. It has to be expressed through gestures. It has to be expressed in conscience, or it has to be expressed in words. Right? So expressing it through conscience. So it can be thoughts, gestures, words, actions. Or we can respect a person by glorifying him in front of other person. Right? Not necessarily that person. And these all things have to be done truly from heart. Not for the sake of flattery. Not with the ulterior motivation. The whole world is running such kind of respect. In Marathi, there is one saying, Kama Purta Mama. Means what? You have some purpose, then you deal very respectfully. Like, air hostesses are there. So, what? They offer so nice respect, but there is a purpose behind it. Right? So, this is Vaishnava respect in connection to Krishna. And this is the most important thing to be followed, to be tried to follow. And very difficult also, right? So it requires conscious practice. So that's what Kapil Dev is repetitively, heavily telling. And this is what he is telling as a solution as. So let us see this now. So these 4 verses I showed. So see Prabhupada's statements now here very quickly. Already we saw previously also, but it was little faster. Right? So this is 21st verse. So this already I told, right? So this is a very, so Prabhupada also says same thing, that one whose heart is pure, he can see presence of Krishna. But till that time we can't see, we have to practice. So then Prabhupada says, very nice statement. Yeah, please read this portion, highlighted. A devotee. Anyone?
A
Yes.
devotee should try to understand everything in relationship with Krishna and try to serve everything in that spirit. To serve everything means to engage everything in the service of Krishna. If a person is innocent and does not know his relationship with Krishna, an advanced devotee should try to engage him in the service of Krishna. One who is advanced in Krishna consciousness can engage not only the living being but everything in the service of.
Yeah. So this is the glory of advanced person. So engaging, right? So everything is seen in Krishna consciousness and everything can be engaged in Krishna. Everything and everyone, right? So our culture is inspire and engage people in Krishna's service, not hire and fire, right? Hire and fire is the Western concept, whereas Krishna consciousness means we inspire people by our example, by our education, no, by our expertise, seeing expertise. Someone is able to do something like Prabhupada saw the cigarette, no? And I think who Sham Sundar Prabhu knew how to do the carving, not carving, the carpentry. So he engaged him in service. Can you imagine? And he appreciated him for it. So that is what is our practice. So this is the way the advancement means we are able to see in connection to Krishna. We ourselves engage and engage others in Krishna consciousness. So actually this is spiritual intelligence. Means engage everyone's intelligence in Krishna's service. So this is the real advancement. So 22nd. So 22nd verse. Yeah. So here Prabhupada says about how we have to grow beyond our ritualistic practices. If without this preliminary knowledge of Lord's omnipresence, one simply attaches himself to the rituals in temple, it is as if he were offering butter into ashes rather than into fire. Right? So that's why we have to have proper knowledge of Lord's omnipresence. So devotee must know that in every living entity, however insignificant he may be, every living entity should be kindly treated and should not be subject to any violence. So even if they commit violence, we should not do. So 23rd is the third level of cancer. So here Prabhupada writes about the depth of envy. Right? So you see here Prabhupada is saying, Bhuteshu Baddha Vairasya and Dvishataha Parakaya are very important, very significant. One who is envious or envical towards others never experiences happiness. A devotee's vision, therefore, must be perfect. So that's why we were, I think, what is envy? So this is what I was telling last time. So we'll see that very quickly. And how the non-violence part Prabhupada says here. So non-violence means what? Non-violence is not just killing. So it is beyond that. So that's what Prabhupada writes here in the what is there in front of you. So someone may say you are cutting vegetables also, then that is violence. No, but that is not violence because by taking some leaves or twigs, the tree doesn't get killed, right? And we can take one step ahead, even if there is a leafy vegetable where tree is killed, but it is offered to Krishna. Right? So that is different. But Jeev Himsa means we are not doing slaughterhouse. So that's what Prabhupada says. That thing is not at all encouraged. Because what we are doing, Jeev Himsa means since every living entity has to pass through a particular type of body according to his karma. Now let us say there is some animal. So if he goes through that much time, he is purified. He is elevated actually gradually. But if you kill him for your own purpose, then we are doing violence. Although every living entity is eternal, he should not be disturbed in his gradual elevation, evolution. Right? So that is what is the himsa part. One doesn't do himsa. And the subtle himsa is envy. And the 24th is criticism. So here is the point. One who criticizes others is worse than one who hates others. Because hatred is within, but criticism is without. Right? So for that, he is quoting 11 canto verse. Avanti Brahmana, I think. So actually, the sharp arrows of insult are more dangerous than the actual arrows which go into the body. They can be removed, right? And some operation can be done. But those insulting words go deep into the heart. So that's why that is more dangerous than hatred. So that's how it's 4-level cancer, as I said. So Prabhupada also says that we cannot bribe personality of God. And distribution of prasad. So mercy, being friendly. So this already we discussed about distribution of prasad and everything. So this is a very wonderful thing. Yeah, please read this. Okay. Yes.
Real,
Yeah.
That's one.
real love and devotion is accepted by the law. Many valuable foodstuffs may be presented to a person, but if the person is not hungry, all such offerings are useless for him. Similarly, we may offer many valuable items to the deity, but if we have no real sense of devotion and no real sense of Lord's presence everywhere, then we are lacking in devotional service. In such a state of ignorance, we cannot offer anything acceptable to the Lord.
So this 24th verse is telling that this person will never please me. Oh mother, I am not pleased with a person who criticizes other beings. Right? So that's why Prabhupada is saying that even if you do offering also, but it has to have substance. And what is that substance? The substance is real sense of devotion and real sense of Lord's presence everywhere. So when we deal with Lord, we deal with other living entities. So love of Lord and compassion to living entity, they are equal. So otherwise, even if we are offering, it is not accepted by the Lord. Right? That's why we see that the Kanishta Adhikari is respecting the deity, but not the devotees, not the other people. So that's how we have to increase our depth of respect to everyone. Then Lord will heartily accept. And we can more we practice respect, more we can feel presence of Lord in every living entity. So it's reciprocal. Right? Otherwise, it is nothing acceptable. Right? To the Lord. We cannot offer anything acceptable because there is lack. That's why we need spiritual master, right? So spiritual master is one who offers to the Lord. Actually, we don't offer because even if we offer, Lord is not going to accept. But because we follow the order of spiritual master, then he offers to Krishna. Krishna accepts only pure devotional service. My Guru Maharaj says in one lecture that Krishna has nothing to do with you because your service is contaminated and hard-hearted with egoism and selfishness. So how can Krishna have some value for it? But because it is offered to Guru, then Guru says that this devotee is engaged in service. Please accept. So because Guru is offering, he accepts. So this real sense is important. And that comes by destroying the ignorance that Lord is present in everyone's heart. No one can harm me unless Lord sanctions it. No one can disrespect me, insult me, or do some injustice to me unless Lord sanctions. So that's what is this section. Now, see, interestingly, now 25th verse, what he says, you see. He says that now, so we should worship the deity. Performing his prescribed duty, one should worship the deity of Supreme Lord until one realizes my presence is in own heart and in hearts of other living entities as well. So archadav archayet tavat ishwaram mam swakarmakrit yavanna veda swardi sarva bhuteshu avasthita. So this goes to show that he was speaking in anger mode. Now he is telling that you continue doing deity worship. But what you do now, till the time you realize my presence in your own heart and heart of others, you do your prescribed duties and worship the deity. So that's how the worship deity, that's why deity worship is important, right? For especially the householders, it is told in Sandarbhas by Prabhupada also in purports. So because it gives that elevation. One more person is there in our house, right? So we start seeing that. So this already we discussed. One should worship the deity of Lord until one appreciates the presence of Lord in every living entity. In other words, one should not be satisfied simply by discharging his duties properly. He must realize his relationship and relationship of all other living entities with the Supreme Lord. So this is what I was telling. This is called respect. So this appreciation of presence of Lord in other living entity means we try to see some good qualities in others because they are inspired by Lord. And by that we respect them. So that's why we discuss those things. And then further he says, as the blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to those whosoever makes the least discrimination between himself and other living entities because of a differential outlook. So now he is telling that if you become hungry and you are empathetic, you are very sensitive to yourself. Similarly, you should be sensitive to others. Yaha karoti antarodaram tasya bhinna drisho mrityu. Means he is able to be empathetic. So that's how persons coming out of I and mine. He is able to understand others' misery, others' dukkha gradually. As he does bhakti, worships the deity, he is able to perceive the pain of others. Right? So otherwise, if one doesn't see like that, he sees bhinna drishti, then I will create fear in his heart, he is saying. As a blazing fire of death, I cause great fear to these people. Can you imagine? So Lord is saying, I will cause fear. So one should understand that just as one has stomach afflicted by hunger, so other people also have stomach, right? And now he gives the solution. This is the solution verse, 27. That's why it is beginning with therefore. Athamam sarva bhuteshu bhutatmanam kritalayam arhayet Danamanabhyam maitrabhinnena chakshusha. Yeah, please read the translation. Someone, maybe Parmeshwari Mataji.
There.
Yes, Prabhuji. Therefore, through charitable gifts and attention, as well as through friendly behavior, and by viewing all to be alike, one should propitiate me, who abide in all the creatures as their very self.
Yeah. So this is the way, and this was the Vedic culture actually. It was the culture of these three things. Any festival, any occasion, any ritual, there will be distribution of prasad to everyone. You see Govardhan Puja, right? Even the cows and they were also fed, Brahmanas were also fed, Chandalas were also fed, right? So this is the part of Vedic culture, that these three things are there. But currently these things are going downward. That's why it is very important actually to follow these things. That there is dana, mana and maitri, right? And of course for householders, the dharma. What is dharma told in Bhagavad Gita? Three things. Danam, yajnascha, damascha. So it's a very important aspect of his life. These three: Dana, Dama, and Yajna. Right? So there also this is there. So it's very important.
Hey, what is Dhamma?
Yes,
Dhanam, Dhamma. What is the meaning of Dhamma?
Dama is controlling senses.
Ah. Okay, thank you.
Dhamma. So this is there in this 12th chapter, not 12th chapter, 13th chapter. Hmm? Abhayam sattva shamsuddhim jnana yoga vyavastitah danam damascha yajnascha swadhyayas tapa arjavam. So there he tells dharma of sannyasi, dharma of grahastha, dharma of brahmachari is swadhyaya, and dharma of vanaprastha is tapas. So for devotees, grahastha devotees, it is Danam Dama Yajna. So Prabhupada very nicely elaborates there. So this is very important aspect of Grihastha life, right? And of course, that doesn't mean only Grihastha life, for everyone else also. Because this is the way we respect. And this is a tangible way of offering respect, right? Tangible means dana, mana. So it's not just, okay, in heart I respect. No, you give something. You give something and be friendly and offer respect, right? Attention, Prabhupada is saying here. So that's what here it is said. So here, I think some of you asked about the karmis, harsh dealings, or they becoming envious. So in this purport, they are told. So they should not abuse those who criticize them or try to beat them because they are hungry or whatever. So they should respect them with praise, giving them greater respect than themselves. So Lord only says this to 4 Kumaras. This is in. So that is. So Prabhupada here very much writes about these principles which we already discussed. Here it is distinctly mentioned that the individual soul should be recognized in relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. And the method of worshipping the individual soul is described here. So this is method of worshipping the individual soul in connection to Krishna. So give dana, mana, and maitra. So that goes to show there is no separatist outlook. So now I hope you remember these words. So there were bhakti in 3 modes, right? So they were all having the separatist outlook, right? There was Pruthak Bhava, Sarajasa, Pruthak Bhava, and Bhinnadru. So the bhakti in 3 modes also, by this doing, so this is the non-separatist vision when we do these 3 things. So that also one elevates from that practice. Because its separatist mentality is gone. Separatist outlook is gone. Right? So that's how he's told you. And Prabhupada says this already I told, the 3 levels of relationship. Treating a living entity equally does not mean treating him as one would treat the Supreme Lord. So it has to be differently treated according to the other person. Yeah. So now, having told about respect in all living entities, Kapil Dev is further clarifying a stand of a Vaishnava. So Vaishnava doesn't offer equal respect to all. Vaishnava offers respect as it behooves. A true Vaishnava offers respect in gradation according to the living entity. So that is what is told elaborately, 28 to 34. So many verses. The gradation is told. So that's why, actually, as I said, the respect requires certain level of knowledge also to properly respect. Otherwise, there is over-respect. So what is over-respect? Over-respect is you respect someone more than what he deserves. So that causes problem for you, and that causes great illusion for the person who is respected more than what he deserves. So he start thinking, I am also very advanced. So in ISKCON in history, a lot of problems have happened because of over-respect. So this is another problem. So when there were some inappropriate activities by some great souls who are at the position of maybe whatever, no, some guides. So when they diverted, all the followers also went with them, thinking that it is Leela, you know. So these things have happened in Russia. So with all due respects to whosoever it has happened with, but this was shared by His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. So devotees will have challenges. The tests are there for everyone. So test. So someone can reach at 95 level of progress, just 5% is remaining. But still he faces a challenge, then he falls to 92%. Right? So, but we have to have a proper discrimination. Right? So that's why otherwise what happens if we have Laukik Shraddha in someone? Laukik Shraddha means this person is practicing, so I will practice. Okay. And then if this person has problem in bhakti, he goes away, I will also go because no one is there for me. So this is not a proper respect. This is not Shastri. So the Laukik Shraddha has to grow to Shastriya Shraddha. So the respect has to be offered not because of nice dealings. Respect has to be offered because of Krishna's presence and realization. That is Shastriya Shraddha, not Laukik Shraddha. So Laukik Shraddha has caused recently some place the leader only went in some other sampradaya, So he took many people along with him. So they don't have clarity of understanding. They don't study Prabhupada's books. That's why they think that other people are giving better than what Prabhupada is giving. So that's why I'm saying the over respect also causes problem. Okay. So we have to raise ourselves to Shastriya Shraddha and Shastriya respect according to Krishna's presence and realization. Not just external actions. So now 28 to 34 are the respect which is offered in gradation. So we'll just go through quickly through that. Yes, Mataji, you have anything to say?
We don't over-respect, means we don't want to over-respect, but if the other person takes it as an offense, then what?
No, I didn't understand. We don't over respect, but if other person takes as offense. So can you give, means I am not able to understand what you are saying.
If he takes it as a disrespect,
Like, can you give an example, means so that I can understand? Because generally, yeah, means what do you mean by that person takes as offense?
yeah, means we expect respect, but we know that we should not over-respect that person. So he takes it as an offense.
So that's why I'm saying actually offense, really offense happens when we have negativity about someone. That is essence of offense. Now, someone is taking offense is a different thing. When you don't have offensive mentality, but other takes offense, that will have minimized reaction. Just like Rup Goswami is in meditation. He is seeing some pastime of Srimati Radharani and Krishna, plucking flowers. But there is one Ashtavakra Muni who is passing. So Rup Goswami laughs actually in the pastime that Radharani is put on the, that branch of the tree and Krishna leaves that branch. So she goes latak jati hai wo. So he's into meditation of pastime and starts laughing. But it happened that there the Muni thinks that he is laughing at me. So he takes an offense. So Sanatan Goswami says to him, and his meditation is broken. So he has to arrange a feast, then this person doesn't come, and then he begs forgiveness from him. So this is there is no intention to offend, but he has taken as offense. Still, we have to be careful. Right? So, but in this case, over respect is not means it will not lead to offense. That's what I'm saying. If we like here, Rupa Goswami laughed in pastime, but if we offer respect as it behooves from heart, then the other person will not take as offense. Right? So means that's what I can reflect, because what exactly you meant to say, I am not able to understand. So yeah, so gradation of respect. So now I'll just briefly tell first what are these gradations. So this begins from the lowermost living entity and goes in animals, insects, cows, and all towards the human beings, then Varnashram, and then Brahmanas and Vaishnava. And it ends in Vaishnava, 34, which is the person who deserves the highest respect. Hmm? So that's how it goes. So it goes from dry grass, right? From this verse onwards. Dry grass to fresh grass to living stones to trees which we can see, trees which can see and smell, right? So Prabhupada writes in the purport that trees change the course of their growth, knowing that there is something. Means trees can see also, trees can smell also. Then there are worms who can taste. Then there are small insects which can smell. So there the ability of sense perception is increasing. From seeing to smelling to tasting to hearing. So there are water insects we can hear, who can hear. And then there are crows who can see other forms. Then the snakes and the bees. So this is within the animals. And then there are humans after that. So there is a peculiar logic here. To the degree they are conscious, to that degree respect has to be offered. Right? So that's the principle. So yeah, now maybe one devotee can read the translations. Yeah, you can read. Yes, Shiromani Radha Mataji can read translation for 5 verses. Or someone maybe, yes. Sachin Pau, you can read. You can read for at least 5 verses. You can.
Living entities are superior to inanimate objects.
In
O
animal.
Blessed Mother, and among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animals with developed consciousness are better than them, and better still are those who have developed a sense perception.
Yeah, so this is basic principle of respect. So depending on living and dead, and then depending on development of consciousness, and depending on development of sense perception. So that's how the respect has to increase. So that's the principle. So here, Prabhupada also says that actually Jnani doesn't different, Jnani offers respect equally. But a Vaishnava is not like that, because Vaishnava knows the Bhagwan. So he offers respect in gradation. Right? So 6 verses show that. So Prabhupada also writes that in his book. So please read this, Prabhupada, in previous verse.
In the previous verse, it was explained that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse and in the following verses, the description of different grades of living entities is given so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity.
Yeah.
We have to
Yeah.
treat him differently,
Thank
giving
you,
him
Prabhupada.
charity in the form of prasad.
Yeah, so I'll explain that. So this is the principle is being said by Prabhupada very nicely. That when to do what is told to every living entity. So you give example of Vedic culture. So tiger was respected differently. Dog was respected differently. And cow is respected differently. Dog is not allowed to come in the house because of the uncleanliness. Right? But they are trained that they stand outside and the food was given outside. Even dogs are trained, purpose says that. But nowadays you see what is happening. So that the cultural aspect is not clear. So here it is there. So The
Prabhuji,
feeling,
after this is finished, I have a unique question regarding this animals in home and preaching.
yes,
So
Prabhu,
whenever
just
you are okay, I can.
complete this chapter, complete this.
Yeah, at the end only.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. So the feeling of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. So this is what I meant to say. There is maturity and purity. That he knows what to do well. How the kindness has to be expressed. It is not just without any discrimination. Just how discrimination should be maintained is given in the following 6 verses concerning the different grades of living condition. Right? So two things, development of consciousness and development of sense perception. So yes, yeah, please read the translation.
Shall I read?
Yeah.
Among the living entity who have developed sense perception, those who have developed the sense of taste are better than those who have developed only the sense of touch. Better than them are those who have developed the sense of smell, and better still are those who have developed the sense of hearing.
Yeah, so this is what I was telling. This is from Vishwanath Chakravarti. So there are worms who have taste, then small insects, then water insects, then crows and all that. So Prabhupada also says fish have developed sense of taste, serpents have sense of hearing, etc. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra works for everyone. Yeah, please read.
Better than those living entities who have perceived sound are those who can distinguish between one form and another. Better than them are those who have developed upper and lower sets of teeth, and better still are those who have many legs. Better than them are the quad, quadrupeds, and better still are the human beings.
So here we reached human beings. Right? Yeah. So now within human beings, how we respect ततो वर्णश्च चत्वारः तेषां ब्राह्मण उत्तमः ब्राह्मणेष्वपि वेदज्ञो यथोऽभ्यास अधिकस्ततः. Yeah, please read.
Among human beings, the society which is divided according to quality and work is best, and in that society, the intelligent men who are designated as Brahmanas are best. Among the Brahmanas, one who has studied the Vedas is the best, and among the Brahmanas who have studied the Vedas, and one who knows the actual purport of Veda is the best.
Yeah, so there is gradation. So this was the Varnashram society. Prabhupada calls it society without envy. That is Varnashram. So one is everyone respects everyone else because there is interdependence, right? So that's why Prabhupada's desire is also that 50% of my, that is that society. Right? And among them, then there are Brahmanas, but in Brahmanas also there are 4 gradations, right? One who is knowing the Vedas, who studied the Vedas is one thing, but other is who understood the actual purport of Veda is better. So better than that is further, next verse. So here Prabhupada emphasizes that 50% of his mission, right? Unless there is such division of social orders in human society, including intelligent class, martial class, mercantile class, and laborer class, there is always confusion as to who is to work for what purpose. So it's very important that we understand and support this Varnashram system. Because otherwise people will remain confused individually and collectively what I am supposed to do, how I can contribute nicely to the society, right? So that is what is this thing. So very clearly Prabhupada is mentioning. Yeah. Yeah, please read translation ahead.
Better than the Brahmana who knows the purpose of the Vedas is he who can dissipate all doubts, and better than him is one who strictly follows the Brahminical principles. Better than him is one who is liberated from all material contamination, and better than him is a pure devotee who executes devotional service without expectation of reward.
Yeah. So see, the gradations are there. Now, who knows the purpose of Vedas and who can destroy the doubts also, right? So that is what is his strength of faith is so much that he doesn't have doubts, rather he destroys the doubts of others, right? So this is there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also, right? What is the Madhyam Adhikari is having that yukti, Shastra yukti shu sunipunaha Druda Shraddhavan, right? So that is the thing. So that is the next. But beyond that is one who follows Bharanical principle. Better than that is he is completely pure. Better than that is a Vaishnava, pure devotee. It's a perfected pure devotee. Yes. So here Prabhupada writes about the ability to destroy the doubts. So it's very important actually to clarify our doubts also and clarify the doubts of whom we are taking care or trying to cultivate. Because doubts are like demons and doubts destroy the practice because we can't put heart in the practice. If doubts are there about Krishna, about Bhakti, about devotees, about ISKCON, that's why you see Radheshyam Prabhu takes this faith and doubt session right in the first year, right? However, I feel that it should be conducted after few years also because there are a lot of challenges within and person is little apprehensive to express his doubts about Krishna, devotees, ISKCON, Prabhupada, etc. And unless doubts are cleared, we cannot put our heart. Right? So that's what Prabhupada writes. And the person who is doubtful about anything is considered most, he can never be peaceful. Like Krishna says that in Adnya Ashraddhadanasya Samshayatma Vinashyati. Nayam Lokosti na paro Asamshayam Samshayam something like that. So that's why point is pariprashna is very important. The destroying the doubts is very, very important. So we should express them to proper personalities, superiors, and get it clarified. Right. And fortunately, Prabhupada's system and here there are so many great souls who travel and preach, right? So they all visit at different places. So we should approach them. They will never misunderstand us if we ask something. Instead of keeping ourselves, better to inquire. Yeah. Now this is a Vaishnava. Yeah, please read. Therefore,
Therefore, I do not find a greater person than he who has no interest outside of mine and who therefore engages and dedicates all his activities and all his life, everything unto me without cessation.
yeah. So this is the greatest Vaishnava. So Lord is saying, I don't find anyone greater person than this. Tasmat Mai Arpita Shesha. Kriyartha Atma Nirantara. Nirantara means this is without any cessation. He has completely offered himself to me. There is no one greater than the such person. So that is what is his, and he has equal vision. So that's what. So his consciousness is told in this verse, right? You see here, na pashyami param bhutam akartuhu samadarshana. So Prabhupada explains these two qualities of such greatest person, right? So when we say Vaishnava, so there are a lot of grades of Vaishnavas, right? So that's why the symptoms are explained through qualities and their vision. So that's why that is what is told here. Akartu means he never thinks himself to be doer. Right? So since he is without identity as independent doer, what he thinks, even my performance of bhakti, the Supreme Lord produces my bhakti. No, I can't do anything by myself. And he sees all others' happiness and distress as his own. That is called Samadarshana. So Samadarshana here doesn't mean he sees elephant, dog, and Pandit to be equal vision. No, this is deeper Samadarshana, where he is Paradukha Dukhi, Parasukha Sukhi. Right? So that is Samadarshana. And that is told in Bhagavad Gita also. Atmaupena sarvatra samam pashyato hi Arjuna. Sukham va yadi va dukkham sa yogi paramo mata. I consider that practicing yogi who sees equally everything as equal to himself in all circumstances, whether happiness or in suffering, to be the topmost yogi. So actually this is very important verse. 6.32, see how Prabhupada translates it. Yeah, I'm just sharing that. So these verses are telling the symptoms of a true Vaishnava, right? So it's very good to understand and practice that, right? So he is a perfect yogi by comparison to his own self. He sees true equality in all beings, both in happiness and distress. So see, one who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. Atma upena sarvat. So that's why he is able to empathize with others. So that is what is his quality. That is told here as Samadarshi. So it is not Samadarshi like 5.18. Na? That's what I said already. Otherwise, so Prabhupada also says that. He has no separate interest. And so Mayavadi takes Samadarshana to be merji. That is foolishness. And Akartu means he has no personal motive. He has no personal desire to enjoy the results of his actions. Yeah. So, yeah, please read translation further. Someone else can read.
Such a perfect devotee offers respect to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the Supersoul or controller.
He has this understanding. That's why he sees a body as temple of Lord, right? So that is for his also and others also. So this section gets over here. And now he concludes his teachings here. Kapila concludes the topic of Bhakti Yoga, just explained. So Bhakti Yoga in terms of Abhideya is very clearly explained here, right? In this chapter. Bhakti in 3 modes with 9 intentions, right? 81 types, and we have to raise to pure Bhakti. What is the obstacle in Bhakti is the envy, which manifests in 4 levels, and one should overcome the envy by practice of dana, mana, maitri, etc. So he told about Avideya of Bhakti very nice and continue. Now he is concluding all previous chapters actually with Ashtanga Yoga that he had explained in previous chapter. So both will attain the Supreme Lord, but both will attain, one will attain Brahman, other will attain Lord's abode. So Bhakti yogascha mayamana vidaritaha Eyorekatereneva Purushaha Purusham Brajit. Yes, please.
My dear mother, O daughter of Manu, a devotee who applies the science of devotional service and mystic yoga in this way can achieve the abode of the Supreme Person simply by that devotional service.
Both are there. Bhakti yogascha. So yogascha refers to previous chapter. Ashtanga yoga. So both can attain what is Maya Manavi Udirata. They will attain me. But how? One will attain Brahman, one will attain abode of love. So Prabhupada says here about Purusham Rajita. Means living entity serves the Supreme Lord, not that he becomes Purusha. So he's punching on Mayavadis. Yeah. So now you have said that one attains the Supreme Person, right? The Purusha, by both processes. Yoga, Bhakti yogascha, Purusham. Who is that Purush? You do not say one attains me, the Supreme Lord. You said you attain Purusha. Who is that person? So Kapila says, he puts his forefinger on his chest and he says that I am that. So etad rupo etad bhagavato rupam brahmanah paramatmanah param pradhanam purusham daivam karma vicheshtitam. Yeah, please read.
This Purusha, whom the individual soul must approach, is the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Brahman and Paramatma. He is the transcendental chief personality, and his activities are all spiritual.
Yeah. So this is what actually etat means this. He's showing his chest. He's putting hand. I am the form of Bhagavan who appears as Brahman and Paramatma. So that is what he is saying here. That I am that Lord, and he has spiritual activities. Right. So Bhagavan feature is being told here. So Prabhupada also says he is the origin of Brahman and Paramatma. So he is described here as chief personality. Yeah, please read. Now the second question asked by Devavati about time factor is being answered in the last portion. So 37 till the end of chapter is the about the Kala. She asked, now please tell me about the time factor by which one can develop detachment from this world. So he answers that question. Yeah, please read the translation.
The time factor who causes the transformation of the various material manifestations is another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who does not know that time is the same Supreme Personality is afraid of the time factor.
Yeah, you see now, so that Bhagwan is only Paramatma and is only Brahman. And that same Bhagavan has impersonal aspect of time, which destroys everything. But one who doesn't know time becomes fearful. But one who knows this is Supreme Lord, he doesn't become fearful. That is understood. Like Prabhupada making kachoris in Kolkata. No fear at all. Completely fearless. So everyone is afraid of activities of time. But devotee who knows the time factor is another representation of manifestation of Lord. He has nothing to fear from influence of time. So, because time factor is the fear factor, and fear is the all-pervading emotion in this world. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. In that defending is all-pervading. At all times, at all places. In even activities of eating, mating, and sleeping, there is fear. Right? So, that's the time factor has to be understood in connection to Krishna. Yeah, what the time factor does, yeah, please read.
Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, is the time factor and the master of all masters. He enters everyone's heart. He is the support of everyone, and he causes every being to be annihilated by another.
Yeah, Kala Kalayatam. So in material world, it is acting as destroyer. So how the Lord creates fear? So he enters in all and destroys all. So that's why Bhagavad Gita elsewhere says that I am the state of existence of everything. Rasoham apsu kaunteya till the dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. So they are all the states of existence. So Lord enters as time, gives the life for expiry date, and he takes out. And that thing doesn't work. So it can be anything. It can be a son papdi which you get from Govardhan. So it has some time factor, then it gets destroyed, right? It gets spoiled. Or there is a beauty or power of some man or woman. So it has some state of existence. Afterwards, it is taken away. Right? So that's what is the way to create fear. Yeah, read further.
No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend, but he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him and destroys those who have.
Yeah. Those who have forgotten, they are affected by time, not those who have not forgotten. So, yes. Further.
Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the wind blows. Out of fear of Him, the sun shines. Out of fear of Him, the rain pours forth showers. And out of fear of Him, the host of heavenly bodies shed their lustres.
Yeah, so there was similar verse, I believe, in the previous chapter, where Devotee may ask, actually, if I don't worship demigods, I'll give up the worship of demigods and worship only you, then they will get, they will get displeased. So there also Lord says, Mad bhayat vati vatoyam. So same thing here, here is saying, there is no question of fear because they are all running because of me only. I am that supreme person. So foolish person thinks that nature is working automatically, but such atheistic theory is not supported. It's 41.
Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trees, creepers, herbs, and seasonal plants and flowers blossom and fructify, each in its own seasons.
In seasons it happens. Fear. So we have this example of 7th canto that Hiranyakashipu was such a powerful person that he could create fear except 3 people, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, into all the living entities and even the trees also. So trees were giving like mangoes were available all the year because of the fear which he created. But Prahlad Maharaj didn't fear him. All demigods were fearing and they were serving him. But that is Vaishnava. No, Prahlad Maharaj didn't fear him. He respected him, but he didn't fear him. Yeah, please read. 42.
Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the rivers flows and the ocean never flows. Out of fear of Him, only does fire burns and does the earth with its mountain not sink in the water of the universe.
So this is all time factor, all pervading. So Prabhupada punches on the scientists. They say that this is all law of gravity, but who made that law? Like, yes, please read 43.
Subject to the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sky allows outer space to accommodate all the various planets, which hold innumerable living entities. The total universal body expands with its 7 coverings under his supreme control.
Yeah. So this is there in Bhagavad Gita also. Gama Vishya Bhutani Dharayami Aham Ojasa, etc. It's 44.
Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the directing demigods in charge of the modes of material nature carry out the functions of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Everything animate and inanimate within this material world is under their control.
Yeah. So all these things, demigods are also like Indra. We have so many examples, Brahma Vimohan Lila and Govardhan Lila, right? There we can clearly understand. Yeah, this is the concluding verse. So Ananta Ananta Karakalo Anadir Adi Kritabhyayah Janam Janena Janayan Marayan Mrityunantakam. Yeah, please read.
The eternal time factor has no beginning and no end. It is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the maker of the criminal world. It brings about the end of the phenomenal world. It carries on the work of creation by bringing one individual into existence from another. And likewise, it dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamaraj.
Yeah. So even the Kala, who is Yamraj, he is also destroyed by this time. But he's not just destroyed, he makes the criminal world. So he's a maker also. It is not just destroyed. So that's how this time factor is very elaborately explained here. So the phenomenon world is created, maintained, and destroyed by the finger signal of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the devotee does not desire anything in this material world. A devotee desires only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This servitude exists eternally, the Lord exists eternally, his servitor exists eternally, and the service exists eternally. So, very beautiful statement which is made at the end by Srila Prabhupada. We are telling this time factor will act. So, let us continue serving Sanatan Lord with Sanatan service. So, that's the Abhideya in essence. The whole chapter is about Abhideya and it's telling us. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 29th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Explanation of Devotional Service by Lord Kapil Dev. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. Yes, Prabhu, Ram Kishore, you had something. Please go ahead.
So we were discussing that part, right, where the animals have to be given respect. Like, every living entity has to be given respect according to this thing. So even in animals, there's gradation, like how dogs, cats, cows, different this thing.
Yes, yes.
So when for preaching nowadays, people will come for satsang, but they have animals in their house. And then, they say, Prabhuji, can we host the satsang? But we have two big dogs in the house. So then the question is like how to deal with them. One devotee had two cats in the home. Not devotee, like he was just coming, but very sincerely attending the satsang. And they are not missing the satsang like that. They are also begin to chant. So like that, the preaching principle is there, but then the animals are there in the house. So what is how we should do?
Yeah, so we have to do the needful, Prabhu, to keep them encouraged and not get discouraged. So conducting once in a while program there is not a problem.
Just once they want like that.
Yeah, so because that will encourage them, isn't it? Oh,
Yes.
and it is not that okay, till the time you remove dog, I will not come or something like that. So these are, and nowadays they are putting dogs for what purpose? Purpose is security and purpose is exchange of affection, isn't it?
Yeah, affection is the main thing, Broji.
Yeah.
So then they have also agreed, no, we will keep the dog in some hostel. They have dog
Now
hostel.
they are going to keep that dog in Rajaram Pool. There is a hostel for dog. We were not aware of all these things. When the owner want to go outside nowadays, there is no there is a nuclear family. No, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? So
Yeah.
they have keep somewhere. So there are no hostels for the dogs in Pune city. So one is near Rajaram Pool. So, so she was telling me कि I want to host a program, and then I said no problem, you can keep dog inside in one room. Then she said she will continuously bark. Then she said कि no, we have a solution, you just don't worry. But can we cook na like that? And they are pure vegetarian, Jain. So I said कि okay, no problem and all.
So
What
once in a while, like you can do.
But nowadays,
But right now we cannot immediately tell that
and,
dog.
yeah, and she asked me actually कि ISKCON people, they don't want dogs to be inside the house and all. So, but right now I just said nothing to her. I said, no, it's okay. You are nicely hosting and, just encouraging her ki it's like.
Yeah, correct. So as they will progress, then more things should be told. Right? Now this is not required to be told. But we can understand, right, that such things have come up in which there are beauty parlors, there are so many things, and now this hostel also has come. So because what people have no relationships, right? That's why they want a dog, isn't it? So
Correct.
we have to connect with them, and then we can tell gradually after some time. And dog was there, but you see in village also there are dogs, right?
Correct.
They're outside. And they're
Outside.
respected, they're fed, and they are dependent on dog also. It's not that they are not dependent because he does the security work without anything, right?
And there is affection also, but not like hugging and like that.
Yeah, in one plate
Exactly.
they're eating, not like that.
So that has to be understood in Vedic perspective.
Exactly. That they will respect dog from a distance. They are concerned about his food. Shivanand Sen, can you imagine?
Yes.
We have
Yes.
example in Chetan Chetamrita, right? Shivanand Sen fasted. That dog didn't get. He paid for the dog because he was walking with the Yatra party and all. So that is the respect. And someone who is dog, dog who is walking with some kirtan is not ordinary dog again. It's a special
We
dog.
see every morning see her. These dogs, they will run, they like the kirtan.
7
Exactly.
o'clock.
7 a.m.
And they get benefited. They do get benefited by Harinam and Harikatha and everything. So yes, respect is there, but that's how Prabhupada says that how the friendliness has to be expressed. That is to be understood. And that they will gradually understand, no problem. So we can do the needful and continue them, educate them and connect with them, and then they will understand. So that,
Prabhuji, I had one more question.
yeah.
When this part you said that, the Lord Kapila is pointing towards himself, like who is that Lord who has to be, worshipped? So he says, this is me. Okay.
Hmm.
So now I was reading CC all the other day. In
Hmm.
that we said that Lord Chaitanya saves us from dangerous philosophies, which are like crocodiles. And then
Yeah.
it goes on, the verse goes on to say that from which philosophies, then the Vashishta, like Yoga Vashishta is there, that is there. And then Dattatreya name also comes.
Yeah, correct. Because that's impersonalism. No?
Ah, So I want to understand what this Dattatreya philosophy is and why Lord himself, like, we understand Lord Shiva, spread impersonalism, but Dattatreya is such a personal pastime. And then from there,
Yeah,
how
but
this
Dattatraya's
impersonal,
philosophy is not personalism, Prabhu.
yeah. So Dattatreya pastime is there, but then what? How is philosophy? Where I don't understand, because there are many people who follow this Datta,
Nowadays,
Yeah,
outside.
here
and they
in Maharashtra, Digambara, so many.
Maharashtra. So what is
The
this of Dattatreya? I have
Navnath Sampradaya.
yeah.
They are Dattatraya's followers. So actually, Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Dattatreya. Right? Where is that Dattatreya in Srimad Bhagavatam? His teachings are also there. This Avdhut, Avdhut. 2 times Avdhut comes, teachings of Avdhut. In 7th
Okay.
canto to Prahlad Maharaj. In the last, now it will come 11 to 15. One place is behavior of a perfect person. There I think him. And 11th canto, he explains 24 gurus. You have heard this section? Lord personally speaking about 24 gurus. So they are teachings of Dattatreya. So they are teachings of Brahman realization. And their sadhana is also very awkward than bhakti. That you go near the crematorium, put some ashes, and that kind of the sadhana is very different. Okay, because their goal is impersonal. That's why Dattatreya is Shaktavesh avatar, and he does give enlightenment to Hayahaya and all that. However, he is not propagator of personalistic philosophy. That's why I think that verse which you are telling, Graha, what is there? Na? The crocodiles of this. So
Yes,
because
yes.
personalism, calamity, thou has moved, right? Because it's a calamity, impersonal philosophy is a great danger. That's why it is compared with a crocodile. It devours a person. That is India. So that's why it's very, and that's the verse which Bhakti Siddhanta liked, right? Isn't it? And that's the verse how Kaviraj Goswami is glorifying Mahaprabhu's mercy. That even a child or whatever, he will not get caught up by these crocodiles. So impersonal philosophy is very dangerous. What to speak of Mayavad? Mayavad is offensive only. Impersonalism may not be offensive directly, but it is very inappropriate philosophy in terms of its attainment.
So Prabhuji, why did the Lord speak such impersonal philosophy, even though it is not the absolute or the highest, whatever?
Because Lord loves some people, Lord loves everyone, and there are some people who want to extinguish their individuality. They want to be Shanti. So
But
Lord,
they will be able to extinguish. They will only sit in the Brahma Jyoti.
yes, bro, but what is our understanding of Brahma Jyoti? It's just like sitting. But there is a great pleasure in that. This Sunday class, I don't know, you heard the Sunday Bhagavatam class?
Probably I was, some medical issues
Yeah.
were there, so I was.
Mataji heard in case.
Not clearly, but we'll hear that. Probably.
Yeah, so there Maharaj says this, that sometimes we think that this Brahman happiness is just like you sleep for some time. No, it's a very high level of happiness.
Hmm.
So it's not the way we think it is.
Hmm.
Like he can say, and he said that I am not advertising impersonalism here, but I am telling you the truth of that happiness. And then he goes on to tell what he told, the Brahman happiness is very high. It's not just what you sleep or sit in one room by putting light. That's what we hear. No, it's a realization of Atma. But he says, so the Vaikunta happiness or Bhakti happiness is like ocean and this is like one drop. And then he goes on to say one step ahead. Said the Golok Vrindavan happiness, in front of that happiness, the Vaikunta happiness becomes like little bit. So what we are going to get is very high. Right? So surely Brahmananda, it's a very high level of Ananda. So that's why they aspire for it now. Why they give up everything of this material world, go to Himalaya? Can you imagine? They get something there, isn't it? It's not that nothing is there. There is a pleasure. But bhakti pleasure is higher than that. And Golok Vrindavan bhakti is even higher than that. So that's why there are some people who are desiring to merge, desiring to have that pleasure. So Lord has given them facility. Lord has given facility for rebellious people. Can you imagine such nice facility with so much variety, so much personalism? Material world, right? Then why not for people who are desiring spiritual happiness? So there Maharaj said that, can you imagine? You are sitting in the rays of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So it's a very special thing. But then he said, I am not advertising that, but there is a lot of happiness. Like, so that's why Lord is such a lover. He is not forcing anyone. He is just facilitating every desire and at the same time coming and advertising the highest. In different form he comes. Become attracted to me. Like that. So he gives options. Love means options. So that's why Lord does. Dattatreya he comes. Sankhya he comes. Buddha he comes and all. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else has anything else about what we discussed? Of course, we are going beyond times. Okay. Anyone can proceed whenever they want. And anyone want to stay back and express. Yes, anything else is there? Anyone else has?
Well, I have one announcement, if no question.
Yes, I think you can go ahead. No one has any question.
So I think next Sunday is the exam, as told by His Grace Sakshat Chud Prabhuji. It is on Unit 14. So I have put the message on the group, so everybody can start studying based on that.
So tomorrow is the preparation day for that, right? Tomorrow no class, correct? No? That's what he told me.
No, he didn't tell me that. He just told me next Sunday.
So exam is there next Sunday, so preparation.
Next Sunday. Yeah. So he didn't tell me anything about tomorrow's class.
So mostly it is not there, but he will communicate with you or you can ask him.
Okay. So
Do the
mostly
needful
okay.
so that devotees can prepare nicely. So
Prepare for the
very nicely this literature Bhagavatam, and I congratulate you for remaining in the course till now. Many devotees started, right? But less remained. So you can't stay with Krishna for long unless there is interest created. So this happens everywhere. Even in brahmacharis, 100 people began the course, but hardly few could complete. So my humble request is Prabhupada will be surely pleased if you do this course and go through Bhagavatam. This course is just a beginning of Bhagavatam. There is the ocean of depth is there in Bhagavatam, which can make us Krishna conscious. So please continue doing the course irrespective of the inconveniences of many ways. Sometimes teachers like me are also there. So, but just continue. Bhagavatam is very powerful.
Blessed to have you.
Blessed.
Continue
Please come on.
Bhagavatam study and complete the course. That is my prayer and request to all of you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Professors,
Thank
that
you.
we will go up to Bhakti Vedanta and Bhakti Saroham also. Please bless
Yes,
us.
yes, Prabhu. That's what Prabhupada wanted actually.
Great. For
That is Prabhupada's education system. So, yes, Prabhu, please continue. All glories.
One more thing, bro. So this unit is end, huh? Unit 15 is now end, or this is unit.
Actually, I don't know. There is because Kapil Shiksha is still remaining na, till 33rd
Ah.
chapter. That's why
Okay.
exam is of 14th unit, na? The previous one.
Previous one, previous.
So Kapil Shiksha will go. So now he spoke of Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga elaborately. Abhideya and Prayojana, goal, advertise. Now he will speak about the karma. And so 30 to 33 are that. So that's how I think unit will be complete there.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Dhantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri